Okay, so this is my little video report on the visit we had to the dairy farm. I thought the visit was just absolutely fantastic. I had a blast. It was so interesting, and if I were a younger man, I would have been like, "Hey, sign me up! I want a job here." Um, I just thought it was really, really great. Some of the things that I found particularly interesting were the amount of waste. What the guy said, there was 5 million gallon um, pond waste holding pond that they had there. That is a lot of poo. I was also really impressed how they grow all the food to feed the cattle themselves, the silage, and then of course they feed the whey from making cheese. They buy it back or get it back, and they feed that to the cows, which is great. Certainly better than grinding up cows to feed to cows like we used to do, which caused the mad cow disease. Um, of course, the big thing we all wanted to see, and the crown jewel of it, is the anaerobic digester for extracting methane from manure. Absolutely just amazing piece of technology, and it actually was really, really hopeful and a very positive thing, because so much, of course, of what we hear about climate change and global warming is so negative, and this that something's being done, and it seems like such a common sense thing to do. It was just a really positive, uplifting, hopeful kind of message. Um, so I went online. I did some more research. Methane, though it does not persist nearly as long in the atmosphere as carbon dioxide does, it does trap 80 times more solar energy than carbon dioxide, which is really scary if you can think about the amount of methane that is trapped under the ground, or that we are creating with our livestock. Um, and that California, there was a really good article I read on NPR about how California was implementing um, all of these new ideas for capturing methane from manure, and the credits, or the payments that farmers get for selling this natural gas, is basically what it is, uh, to energy companies. And farmers, of course, have always had a hard time making a living, so this actually can boost a farmer's income by 50%, which is huge. I mean, if my income got boosted by 50%, I would be dancing a jig in the street. That's just amazing. But there was a caveat with that, well, first of all, people used to sell, or be able to sell, electricity they generated from like solar panels or windmills back to the power companies and make a decent little profit on it while doing good for the environment. And of course, the government came in and kind of chopped that all to pieces. Once corporations start paying us, they always step in and put a stop to it. So I wondered, and I should have asked the guy, I didn't think about it until afterwards, if that was a concern for the future, that if more people did this, I mean, are they going to shut that down? Another problem, potential problem, and unintended or paradoxical result of these credits that farmers will get for selling their methane, is that it would entice farmers to add even more cattle to their herds, depending, of course, on regulations in their state and area. Um, Now, the methane is captured from manure, but cows also burp and fart a lot when they're in their barns, and that's not captured. So if we were to add a significant number more cows to herds in order for farmers to make more manure, it could also increase the emissions in the atmosphere, and it's kind of counterproductive. So there would have to be some controls put on that. Um, I thought that the idea of using drones and GPS for spraying crops that we talked about was particularly interesting. I'm surrounded by farm fields here, and they spray all the time, and it's nasty. So I would be very interested in a more controlled and exacting type of fertilization and pesticide control for the farms around me. So I really thought it was um, an interesting field trip. I mean, I love animals, so just being near them is always fun. But the gentlemen were really knowledgeable and friendly, and the trip was great and just really, really interesting. So had a great time. Thank you.